Welcome to the video. This is going to be probably flagged by YouTube. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we've got an interesting thing that I discovered by accident. I'll put some photos up. YouTubers' incomes. Oh yes. You can actually look these up. It's freely available. They probably don't like you doing it, but we've had a look at Rick Shields' incomes, and you can see during the pandemic, every YouTuber, and we'll put them up, has had probably the highest earnings of, anybody through the whole lockdowns, right? Because we all had nothing to do. We couldn't actually get out the house, and when we could, it was a 5-mile radius, depending on where you live in the world, but local lockdowns, that type of thing. They banned golf here. Yes, I'll say that again. They actually banned golf here for 3-4 months. I think we've all got short memories. I forget. I don't know. But we didn't play, but we paid our full memberships, didn't we? And we've never had anything back from it. Well, certainly the majority of us. And your golf club has probably put their fees up, right? Even though they've got more members than they've ever had before, because golf is on a hiatus. But let's get to the golfers. So, for goodness sakes, don't stand up at your AGM and ask any sensible questions about why you're paying more than you were before the pandemic and the extra members you've all got, because unless you're on the committee, no one's going to listen to you. But as you can see, Rick Shields through the pandemic was like, woo-wee, raking it in. And his income now is hovering. It's not as good. It's still good, but it's going to be good. He's got 2.5 million subscribers. He just needs to put a fucking goldfish bowl on camera and folk are going to watch it. But the rest of the YouTubers, now, this is where it gets interesting. If you've got a channel that's mid-flight or big but no big, but it's no small, and you've gone through the pandemic and you've been like coining it in, because again, everyone's had nothing to do, they're all watching your channel. Now, what's the problem with that, Mike, you might say? Well, if you've expanded your empire too quickly, and based on revenue figures that are overinflated, you have stretched over your means, buying fancy houses, buying fancy cars, or some people lease them, but they must be mental, because I've had a look at that vehicle leasing, PPC, whatever you call it. £4,000 deposit, about £1,000 a month for your Fleming Aston Martin, near 900 quid, say, call it, but plus 100 quid for insurance, £1,000 a month. Leasing even an Audi at like 40 grand, you're talking like a 3 grand, 4 grand deposit, £500 a month. Let's just double our mortgage. Well, that's exactly what they've done. And mortgage rates are skyrocketing, out of control, nobody's coining that back. Your income revenue stream has dropped because you based it over the pandemic with artificially high inflated viewing figures, while everyone was locked down. They couldn't do nothing. Oh, let's watch YouTube. Now we're all semi-free again. We can go out. Shortly we'll not have to wear masks. If you're in England, you don't have to wear masks. Don't worry about that. So things are unlocking again, and they have been over the last, well, you could say December, January of this year. It started to kind of relax, but, and here's the but, there's always a delay. How's there a delay? Because we have been bombarded for 2 years about, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die. Right? It's simple, you're gonna die. So you're curtailed your movements, right? And it's going to take some people ages to get back to where they were, where they used to go, where they had went out all the time, went to the pub, went to the restaurant, went to wherever. They just went out. And when they were out, they went out. Well, a lot of people haven't got anywhere near back to that. And it's a steady sort of, because something happens and then, China, Shanghai and that, Shanghai? No, Shanghai, no. Where that is now, they've just locked up 25 million people for 10 days. I'll say that again. 25 million people under strict house arrest. You can't leave your house for 10 days. Meanwhile, here we are doing... So what do they know in China that they're not telling us? Any sensible, scientific mind, someone who questions things, someone who looks at the bigger picture, explores news in different avenues, will always be at the back of their mind, they are taking their population of 25 million people in one of the biggest ports in the world. That's going to stay open, by the way, but everyone else is going to be locked in their houses for 10 days, groceries and stuff delivered to their doors to keep them going. What do they know that they ain't telling the rest of the world? Seeing as it originated kind of there, they should be ahead of the curve, would you not think? Knowing that, what the heck is that? Knowing that, you know, it originated there, they released the genome that made everyone able to synthesize vaccines or help them along the way. Listen, I'm not getting deep into this because this is all my opinion, in case YouTube flag it and say like I'm a whatever, right? These are facts. You can look them up. Make your own mind up. That's all I'm saying. So, we sidetracked ourselves a wee bit there, but that means that production in China is going down again. They'll be shutting factories again. And this is why, in the golfing world, a grip, yes, a simple little golf grip, has become the hallowed grail of treasure. There's none anywhere. Well, there are some, but it's very limited and it's probably not the ones you're looking for. And if you've ordered a set of custom fit clubs, believe it or not, they can't get grips to build your set. And that is why you're waiting exponentially long for these clubs. Now, if these factories are shutting down right in the middle of the golf season, the Masters is about to kick off. I don't want to highlight this any more than I already have. But the Masters, because it's the first major, real first major, right? You could argue that the World Match Play and the players and all that, they're kind of majors, Mike. But no, for like major golf, the Masters is it. And if anything's going to kickstart you into thinking, I'm going to go out on the golf course, it's when you see those azaleas all in bloom, and the bloom, well, maybe put some pictures up because it's always beautiful, and you go to your local golf course and you say, man, how can this not be as good as Augusta? This is like, what's going on here? Well, you forget it's just coming out of winter. We've got temperatures that are like -4 at night and that. You can't put water in the greens because you kill them, the water's too cold. You've got to spike and aerate the greens and put holes in them because our weather's just rubbish here. And folk go off aid. We've not got our azaleas in bloom. They have. What's happening? And our tee boxes are terrible. Look at the state of them. And look at the bunkers. Why can't our bunkers not look like those white, spectacular things at Augusta? And then for years, we all put that white, crappy sand in our bunkers, which was no good for the conditions or weather that we have in Scotland, because it rains here far too much. And that sand is absolute rubbish when it gets wet. Spent millions on it though. If you add it up all over the Scottish, England, your club's probably the same. White sand, it's £200 a tonne. What about the normal sand? It's quite like dirty colour and that. That's £85 a tonne. We'll go for the £250 white sand because Augusta use that. Must be good. But, you know, folk have woke up from that. Anyway, we're sidetracking from the main event here, which is YouTubers this year are going to be struggling because they've all based their income on inflated artificial pandemic levels. And their views are coming down and the ad revenue is going to drop. Now, if you're a mid-channel, your ad revenue dropping by as much as 50% from pandemic levels, that's a big income drop. And if you've bought a big fancy house and you've upscaled your motors, whether you're leasing them or buying them, I mean, it's incredible when you see how much Rick Shields rakes in. They reckon on an average year, 154 million is his net worth. Some say it's as high as 225 million. That's dollars. So that's net worth. That's like assets, everything like that. So make your own mind up. I mean, I'm just setting the stall on the table. There's a lot of things going against folk this year, and we haven't even covered. Fuel costs are going skyrocketing. So see, you can go and make a vlog, fill your car up with one of these big fancy motors, £250 later, at the pump, right? Everything's going up. Gas, electricity, absolutely. Your bill's going up £900 to £1,500 without you doing anything. Just put the heating on the same as normal. That's a huge expense. Then you've got like all the other hidden expenses. Well, the haulage companies, Mike, you're getting a bit doomsday here, you know. All the haulage companies need to put it on to you because they're going to have to fill up their vehicles with diesel and then deliver the goods. The only problem is, it's costing them 4 times as much. Therefore, they'll need to put it onto the... You get the general idea. Food's going up and all, and everything else. And China being a technology hub, being locked down, you're going to struggle for filming iPhones, Samsung devices, maybe not so much Samsung devices, they're not really made there, but Apple iPhones, other Android devices that are made over there, going to be a shortage of tech. So don't be surprised if your tech starts going up in price, not because of demand, well, it will be a questionable demand, but because you can't get them. So folk will say, oh, we'll put the prices up to make it more, you know, to really put the boot in. Now, that is really it. I'm going to keep it shorter than I normally do because my tirade waffles can go on for a while. But I've covered a lot of points there. Some of them must interest you, and some of the slides I've put up with the info probably interest you as well. I know a lot of you probably like to keep your heads in the sand and don't really go into things in too much detail, but let's not all be sheep. Let's always keep that little fire, that little flame. We've all had that little flame. You know that thing when you're younger and you feel like you're a bit of a rebel? It's not even being a rebel. It's just like, you're not even sticking it to the man. You're just got that little flame in the back of your mind that you don't always take things at face value, right? Question everything. No harm in that. Because if somebody tells you to go do something absolutely bonkers and you just go and do it, then where's your recourse? You know, the old days, right? We always used to look up books, encyclopedias. We didn't have the internet. Now we've got the internet, and question for you all, with the internet being freely available and that, has it made us more cynical or has it made us more stupid? Because we don't look up the right things, do we? We always look up like conspiracy theories and things like that. So has the internet made us more stupid? Or has the little flame of questioning got smaller? You know, have we all become, we will obey? I'm not saying, you know, be that rebel without a cause and that. I'm just saying you need to be switched on. You can't go about life going, oh aye, that must be right, aye, it must be right that golf clubs can fire the membership fees over the edge, push me out the door, but they've taken on another 200, 300 members this year because of the pandemic. And I've not played golf for a year, but I never got a refund on my fees. It must be right. Listen, some folk absolutely hate me, but that's fine. Because if you don't have two sides to a story or an idea, then yeah, you're liable to sit on that and go, can't he say stuff like that? I mean, our club was struggling to survive. It was the only way we could keep our club afloat. But that's the problem. It's always been in golf. A model that they always use and never alter. It's like if you had a business and you kept going for that business model, but you hit trouble, you would adapt adapt or die, because if you didn't change your business model, your business would go bust. But golf clubs, they seem to have this other idea. We will stick with what we have done for years. It's obviously worked. Next committee, and you come. Oh, we've got some new ideas about... No, just do the plan, which is this. Aye. Right. 15 minutes plus on this, and I know I'm probably going to start a lot of arguments. Certainly, if anyone in our golf club sees this, they'll probably be hating me. But, I mean, why is it the normal guy never ever really makes a difference? You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be, it's always got to be, I don't know what I'm grasping for here, but you get the general idea. It's been great talking to you for this 15 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed the chat, and I hope YouTube don't flag the video for any craziness, because all I've said is my opinions, and it's all factually based as I've put the slides up. Thanks for watching. A subscribe would be great, because it's all for charity. Macmillan, Help the Heroes, and Shelter UK. Yes, that's correct. Everything here is for charity. Ad revenue wise. Hey! So, if you look at Rick Shields' figures, not that we're ever going to get like to Rick Shields' views, but if we ever did, that's a lot of money every month going to charity. So you're helping others by growing the channel, by subscribing, by sharing, by going, hey, this guy's actually giving away all his ad revenue. Maybe I'll just subscribe to him, because heck, I might not even watch him that much, but if he gets all that ad revenue going to charities, he's actually stepping up there. And that is the plan from the last 3-4 years. Still not got there. But anyway, anywho's, a thumbs up if you liked it. I know he probably didn't, because it's like doomsday, fucking hell, might cheer up a bit. But anyway, listen, we're keeping it real. We are keeping it real.